You're just spending thousands of dollars to completely erase the texture, depth, and raw danger of the night. Look at what you're producing. Your portraits look like they were shot in a studio against a cheap black backdrop, because that massive aperture completely obliterates the neon textures. Or worse, you slap a flash on your hot shoe, blow out your subject's face until they look like a pale corpse, and completely detach them from the environment. You are terrified of the dark, so you try to turn the night into a poorly lit day. You are running away from the shadows, and because you are running, you will never capture the soul of the night. I am Mr. Simple. Today, we are performing a tactical strike on your low-light bad habits. I am handing you 3 brutal laws of low-light physics that will transform your noisy, blurry, digitally degraded night photography into sharp, cold, and intensely cinematic narratives. Let us dissect your first failure, the delusion that you need to bring your own light to a city that is already burning with it. I call this the ambient layering protocol. A modern city at night is never truly dark. It is a massive, complex, and constantly burning network of free illumination. You have street lights, glowing vending machines, LED side panels on transit buses, tail lights, and intense neon signs from convenience stores. You do not lack light, you lack the visual acuity to see it. You are using physical laziness to cover up your creative blindness. You need to turn your subject into a visual parasite. Stop trying to artificially illuminate them. Force them to feed off the existing urban environment. Walk the streets until you find a high-contrast, high-density light source, a stark, unshielded neon sign, or the harsh downlight of a concrete bus shelter. Position your subject's face mere inches from that light source. Let that specific color and industrial texture wrap around their jawline and cheekbones. You do not need a soft, even perfect commercial exposure across the entire body. That shadowless look is for e-commerce products, not cinema. You are looking for a sharp, unforgiving collision between the city's electricity and human anatomy. The dark parts of the frame should stay absolutely dark. Let the deep shadows swallow the rest of the body without mercy. When you layer your subject directly into the physical flow of the city's ambient light, they no longer look like they were cut out with scissors and pasted onto a dark background. They breathe the city air, they bear its contrast, they belong to the night. Now, let us deal with your absolute obsession with high ISO, which is nothing more than a lazy shortcut that completely destroys your image quality. You raise your shutter speed to 1/200th of a second or higher because you are terrified of motion blur. Take your camera off your hands and place it on an absolutely steady surface, a steel guardrail, a flat trash can lid, or a rough concrete wall. Lower your shutter speed to 1/4 of a second, half a second, or even a full second. Drop your ISO back to its native baseline, whether that is 64 or 100. Now tell your subject to stand absolutely terrifyingly still for that one moment. Do not breathe, do not blink. Freeze like a statue in the middle of the timeline to fight the movement around you. Look at what happens to the frame when you do this. The subject remains a sharp, frozen anchor in the center of the image, every pore and strand of hair rendered with razor-sharp precision, but the world around them begins to bleed violently. The headlights of passing cars stretch into long, lethal ribbons of red and white light. You are compressing the entire kinetic energy of a chaotic, freezing city into a single visual slice behind them. The contrast between the absolute stillness of the human form and the violent rush of the environment creates an immediate cinematic pause. You do not need a wide-open lens to create separation. You use time itself to separate your subject from the world. This brings us to the final aesthetic scene, the bright night fallacy. The biggest mistake an amateur makes is looking at their LCD screen and histogram, trying to make the night look as bright as day. If your night photos have gray, noisy shadows where every garbage can and broken brick wall is perfectly visible, you have stripped the image of its mystery. The night requires secrets. It needs those unseen spaces to trigger fear and imagination in the viewer's mind. Do not buy those gimmicky RGB pocket lights. They will only make your image look like a cheap nightclub. Use a subtle, localized ambient warm light. Have your model pull out a smartphone with a warm, glowing screen held close to their face, or position them under the amber light spilling from a bakery window. Let this warm, organic light illuminate only the essential features of their face. At the same time, intentionally drop your overall exposure value to push the rest of the city into deep, cold, bottomless blue shadow. What you are creating is a powerful psychological trap based entirely on color temperature physics and evolutionary psychology. The human eye is biologically wired to seek warmth and safety amidst a field of cold and darkness. By isolating the warm skin tones of your subject against a massive, dark, low-temperature urban backdrop, you create an instant focal point that cannot be ignored. The background doesn't need a wide aperture to be out of focus. It just needs to be cold, dark, and devoid of detail. You are establishing a narrative of warmth, life, and survival inside a freezing concrete jungle. This physical contrast is 10,000 times more sophisticated than any Lightroom preset slider. Look at your camera gear again. Stop blaming your sensor's dynamic range for your lack of vision. Stop buying faster lenses to compensate for your inability to read the environment. Gear cannot save a bankrupt mind. It only amplifies your confusion. The city is already lit. The shadows are already designed. Your only job is to use basic physical common sense to position your subject at the exact point where the architecture of light and dark intersect. The next time you shoot after the sun goes down, turn off your auto settings. Lock your ISO at its cleanest baseline. Drop your camera down to the concrete and let the passing traffic blur into streaks of fire. Force your subject to step out of their comfort zone and into the neon light, and let the shadows take care of the rest. Stop trying to blindly illuminate the dark. Learn to control it. If you want the raw logic required to strip away visual clutter and strike the core tension of an image, smash the subscribe button, hit like, and turn on the notification bell. In a creative space choked by consumerism and spec anxiety, I will keep dismantling the industry lies. We don't do empty technical sentimentality here. We use the environment as a weapon to reshape your frame. Keep your gear minimal. Keep your mind focused. Keep your process simple. Now take your machine into the night. I am Mr. Simple. See you in the next video.